Hi, friends. Space Marine 2 just launched, and let me tell you, it's totally awesome. Literally everything I wanted and then some. The combat is satisfying, the story's good, and it legitimately has some of the coolest 40k moments I've ever experienced. I was so hyped about it, in fact, that I made this very video so I can have an excuse to play through it a second time and draw some of the scenes and characters. And it should go without saying, but I'm going to be recapping the story of Space Marine 2, so of course there'll be some story spoilers in this story video. But let's get into it. You start this journey off as a mysterious Death Watch kill team leader. This dude's a Black Shield, meaning he no longer identifies with his original chapter. Oh, I wonder who this could be. His kill team Primus, was sent to the jungle planet Kataku in order to launch a virus bomb into orbit and slow a Tyranid invasion on the world. On the way to the launcher, their Corvus Blackstar was assaulted by a swarm of Tyranid gargoyles. Not even 5 minutes in, and you already get a kick-ass scene where the Gaunts are slowly tearing through the Blackstar's doors, and the Marines are slaughtering Nids in a cool-ass circle. And you know where else you can slaughter things in cool-ass fashion? In this cool game for mobile and PC. Collect champions, fight in PvE and PvP arenas, and more. That's right, I'm talking about Raid Shadow Legends. Right now, Raid is running one of its biggest events, the Asgard Divide. From now until November 22nd, you can play the sweet event and collect cool champions inspired by Norse mythology. Loki the Deceiver, Thor Faehammer, Odin Fatefather, and Freya Fateweaver are all available now. And if you log into Raid for 7 days between now and October 23rd, you can get legendary champion Loki the Deceiver totally free. That's already 1/4 of the new characters. And you can get even more bonuses for logging in for 7 more days. As part of the Asgard Divide event, you can also take part in a limited time unique event dungeon that culminates in an epic battle against the almighty Odin Fatefather. The dungeons in this game are my favorite part, as I've always been a fan of dungeon crawlers. I love collecting the cool champions in the tavern to add to my team and steam some hams in said dungeons. Another cool thing are taking on the clan bosses with your clanmates. Oh, did I mention I have my own clan that you can join? So, if you haven't started playing it, then what are you waiting for? Click my link in the description or scan my QR code to get insane bonuses available only for my link. Once you sign up, you will immediately get a huge starter pack with an epic Grizzled Jarl of the Dwarves faction. Then, at level 15, you'll get another starter pack that includes an epic Knight Errant from the Bannerlords faction. So, come and find me under the name of Crackduck and join my clan, the Crack Club. But yeah, eventually the Gaunts break through the Blackstar's doors, and one tackles the mysterious kill team leader. He plummets to the surface, which, if you think about it, an airship is basically just a mobile cliff. So already, Space Marine 2 is keeping tradition and has you falling off a cliff in epic fashion. Woo! After crashing onto the planet's surface, the mysterious kill team leader makes his way to the launcher, and you get a mini Halo Reach moment when your squad is picked off one by one. These noble Marines are gone, but never forgotten. R.I.P. Brother Darius. You always had a really cool gun. R.I.P. Brother Baron. You were a sick dude and truly the bomb. R.I.P. Brother Ulfar. I guess you were in some Rogue Trader game, so I bet people who played that are even more sad. R.I.P. Brother Kelstros. In this instance, I guess the rip works in 2 ways. But anyways, after all those dudes, whoever they were, all die, it's up to the mysterious kill team leader to launch the virus bomb. He fights a seemingly unending swarm and successfully launches the bomb into the stratosphere. But the mysterious kill team leader gets overran, falls off a mini cliff, and then sensing he's about to face some trouble, he takes off his helmet to get that classic helmetless Space Marine plot armor. And who should this mysterious kill team leader be except for the hero of Graya and former 2nd Company Captain Demetrian Titus? Woohoo! Would have guessed that. And I wasn't even kidding with the helmetless named Ultramarine plot armor, because for most of the sequence, you literally can't get killed as you tear through waves and waves of Tyranids. But even helmetless Ultramarines can be bested, and Titus is mortally wounded after dueling a Carnifex. But luckily, he is saved by the Ultramarines blasting the Nids from above. Titus wakes up and is told by the chaplain that Ultra Chad and kinda Ultra Dad Marnius Calgar personally ordered Titus to be put through the Rubicon Primaris to save him from his grievous wounds. This chaplain tells Titus that he has been reinstated into the Ultramarines, as the Inquisition has determined that Titus was free of taint and that his dishonorable time as a Black Shield was covered up. But the chaplain also tells Titus that he can never be truly redeemed until he proves himself to his home chapter, the Ultramarines. Also, these little freakish things that everyone's asking about are called cherubs. They're fat grown servitors, basically cyborg servants, given cybernetic enhancements and anti grav devices. They're made to look like little baby angels to represent purity, and they can do a number of things. They carry ammo around, they're messengers, they just generally help out, or kind of just add to a vibe, you know? But, anyways, Titus speaks to the new second company captain, Captain Akaran, and is given command of Sergeant Gadriel's fire team as lieutenant. Rounding out the boys is Chiron, or as me and my friend Caleb like to call him, Chair Iron, the VIP. They learn that the Tyranids are assaulting two planets, Kadaku and the hive world of Avarax. The Ultramarines decide to abandon Kadaku in order to defend the more important Avarax. But before leaving, Titus and the boys are sent to recapture the orbital guns so all valuable Imperial assets can be safely evacuated. So, after a badass gate defense, meeting Katie and Captain Mustache, and a bunch of beautiful executions, you activate the orbital defense guns to destroy a Tyranid hive ship. But before evacuating Kadaku, Titus is tasked with retrieving annoying dickhead Archmagos Nozick, as he's a high value asset and has important Mechanicus research data. After probably the most annoying level, like seriously, fuck these little bastards, all my homies hate Rippers. And also, you know what, while we're at it, screw these stupid brain blast nerd bugs. All my homies hate zoanthropes. Thank the Emperor for crack grenades, the best grenades, who also have a really cool name. But anyways, we secure the artifact that Nozick needed and he evacuates. But then his Thunderhawk is suddenly struck and plummets to the ground. So then Team Titus 2 strap up with jump packs and make their way to the crash site. It is there when they see that Nozick has been assassinated by Chaos. What? They're in the game? Wow! Who would have guessed that? And there's also the name Imra tagged on a down Thunderhawk, whatever the heck that means. And at this crash site, Titus also has like a little heart attack or something, suspected to be from his Primaris operations, or perhaps something more chaotic. As they're leaving, Titus also notices that, for whatever reason, the assassins completely left Novik's important artifact behind. This is called foreshadowing. And later on the command ship, Titus speaks with Akaran about what happened on Kadaku. Apparently, the Mechanicus reported Novik's death to be caused by quote unquote engine failure. Yeah, sure, buddy. I guess those engines made a little chaos shrine and was a graffiti enthusiast as well. Not to be a conspiracy theorist, but I'm just gonna say that the engines did not kill itself. With Nozick dead, his very important project, titled Aurora, could only be finished by Magos Luz. So, Titus and the boys are sent to Avrax so they could retrieve Luz and finish Nozick's weapon. On the way to Avrax, Titus is again pestered by the chaplain's suspicions, specifically regarding his little episode. But, anyways, Titus and the boys make their way to the Mechanicus facility on Avrax to search for the whereabouts of Luz. On the way there, they are ambushed by a Carnifex. Ah! But honestly, I felt like this was one of the easiest fights in the game. I literally had more trouble on the Ripper level. I don't know if that's a good or bad thing. Even Chiron agreed that the Carnifex was an easy foe, to which Titus flexes on him by saying how he fought one with just a bolt pistol like a day ago. And then after some more fighting, Trio Titus learned that Luz is in some dome, and Titus also searches through classified files on Project Aurora. It's revealed that the mechanics have reconstructed the power source from the first game and are once again trying to weaponize it. Cause you know what they say, if at first you don't succeed and cause a chaos incursion, try again. It's also here where Gadriel begins to seriously doubt Titus and grow suspicious of his loyalty. Oh no, Gadriel. Please don't become a second Leandros. Please! But after getting this information, the boys save the city from a Volkite meltdown and go back to the barge. Titus tells Akaran of the dangers that Aurora may pose, but Akaran scolds Titus for such an accusation and sends him to retrieve Luz from some dome. Additionally, there's some trouble in paradise as the seeds of distrust are sown in Team Titus. You see, getting tortured for like 100 years because some asshole wrongly thought that you were a heretic, it's bound to change a guy, at least a little bit. So now Titus is a bit more reclusive and doesn't want to speak his mind in fear of getting falsely accused once more. However, this reclusiveness makes Gadriel even more suspicious of Titus's true motives. Ooh, I swear if Gadriel becomes Leandros Part 2, I'm gonna go ultra mad! So continues the Titus tale as he and the boys head back to the surface in search of some dome. They fight their way through the NIDS, they meet the coolest veteran sergeant ever. This dude beat a war boss to death with its own severed arm, and he's besties with Chair Iron the VIP. Hell yeah! They fight and kill a neurothrope, and they get a lift to the dome by veteran sergeant coolest dude ever. And veteran sergeant, coolest dude ever, joins Team Titus into the dome. Hell yeah! Imagine the cool stuff we'll do with an extra Marine, a veteran sergeant Marine for that matter. Hell yeah! In the dome, the Marines question the guardsmen about the dome, and Chair Iron, the VIP, notices a chaos tattoo on the guardsmen, revealing them to be heretics. Which, also, having an evil tattoo, probably not the best move for going undercover. But, anyways, the traitor is shot, but not before he sets off a bomb that blows a rebar straight through veteran sergeant coolest dude ever's face. No! Why couldn't it be Lame Andros? Oh, wait, he's not here. But after slaying the best character in the game, the filthy traitors open a portal and summon Thousand Suns, Chaos Space Marines. Wait, you mean the Tyrants aren't the main villain? Who would have guessed? After killing some Rubric Marines, Chair Iron, the VIP, goes insano style and he has a Doom Guy rampage since his old bestie was killed, and Chair Iron really hates traitors as he was present in the betrayal of Calth as a child. So, fueled by his hatred, Chair Iron, the VIP, has a badass cutscene wrecking some sons of guns. And by guns, I mean Magnus. Or do I mean my guns, perhaps? After the cutscene, Titus scolds Chair Iron's recklessness, but honestly, going on an ultra rage solo killing spree is totally a Titus move. Like, Titus's signature ability is literally him getting pissed off. So, Titus probably thought it was cool as hell, but he had to save face as a newly reformed, responsible person. But anyways, after some more dustin', the boys in blue, no, the boys in blue that we're playing as, rescued Luz, and on the ride home, Luz talks about what a coincidence it is that Titus has the same name as a captain on Graia who dealt with the same power source. Wait, your name is Titus? There was a Titus on Graia. He died. Hmm, that's weird. I've never heard of him. Sounds like a total badass, though, I'm not gonna lie. And for the record, I bet he didn't actually die, and he actually single handedly kicked some demon prince's ass as well. But this revelation further raises suspicions from Gadriel and Chair Iron to a peak, since they know that Titus is a pretty old fellow. So, Akron lets the boys know that all of Avarax is being attacked by heretics and Tyranids. With things so dire, they have no choice but to try and use Project Aurora. But first, Titus wants to at least warn Calgar of the potential dangers. Unfortunately for Titus, the planet's astropath is being nullified by the Shadow and the Warp, so he devises a plan to both contact Calgar and lessen the Tyranid threat. They're gonna hunt the Hive Tyrant. Woo! Let's go! What? We don't fight the Hive Tyrant as Titus? It dies off screen? It's killed by 3 Marines? Okay. Welp, RIP Tyranid fans. But also, I'm not gonna lie, this sets up one of the coolest scenes in the game, so we'll get back to that later. So then, Titus sends Team Talassa to kill the Hive Tyrant and Team Viridian to do something else, I don't remember. Meanwhile, he and the boys go to secure the astropathic relay and send the message to Calgar. On the way to the planet's surface, Gadriel confronts Titus. Gadriel searched the archives and confirmed that Titus was the captain on Graia. Titus tells him that he became a Black Shield because he was accused of corruption, but this only worsens Gadriel's worries. Things are starting to feel a bit Lamandrosy around here. Then we have a freaking epic push with the Cadians, which, let me pause to gush about the Cadians a bit. Seeing the guard mobilizing was so cool, man. All the tanks, the shock troops lining up. Of course, Captain Iden giving the coolest speech ever on the Baneblade. Just all of it was so amazing. I'm so happy too that they kept the classic art aesthetic. It really put me in the mood for a giant awesome battle. And a giant awesome battle I got. The courtyard scene was beautiful. The full-scale war was epic. And there's another jump pack scene, baby. But enough of that. This is Space Marine 2 after all, so back to the Space Marines. After suiting up, Gadriel gets a bit madriel that Titus isn't helping the main force and instead insists on finding an astropath. So, not to be outdone by Chair Iron, the VIP, Gadriel has a bit of a tantrum, leading to a badass moment of him going insano style on a bunch of gargoyles. After some more ultra gameplay, you finally arrive at the relay and realize that Team Talas has failed to slay the Hive Tyrant, so you must make a final stand at the relay station. You face a seemingly endless wave of Tyranids, culminating in another epic Carnifex battle. You best the beast and it's all good, except it's not. These are the Tyranids, and they got waves on waves. A second horde assaults you, this time headed by 3 Carnifexes. With your ammo spent and your body bloodied, you prepare your chainsword for a hopeless battle. But the Emperor protects, and the beasts collapsed. Talassa has slain the Hive Tyrant. Which, also, the Tyranids really shouldn't have just fallen over like that and left. More accurately would have been them maybe like dropping for a bit due to the synaptic shock, but then still attacking you as mindless feral beasts. But this final moment when you're making a final stand against a giant wave of Tyranids only to be saved at the last second by them losing their synaptic connection is actually a super epic scene. I feel like it actually does show how threatening the Tyranids can be with their unending waves. At the moment, I legit felt exhausted and dreaded fighting the fresh wave. It was actually really cool. So, Titus and the crew go to the Psyker, and on the way, Gadriel requests a new team since he does not like Titus's secrecy. Titus speaks to the astropath Neoma, and she begins the ritual to send the message to Calgar. Midway through, though, she suddenly stops and declares Titus a traitor. What? The Leandra's plague has spread to her too? No! She proclaims Titus tried to summon Calgar to Avarax in order to kill him and get the power source for himself. So, Gadriel attacks Titus and get in a little blue ultra brawl. Gadriel momentarily gets the upper hand, puts his bolter to Titus's head, and bang! Oh my god, is Titus dead? No, of course he's not. He didn't have his helmet on in this scene. Charon, the VIP, came in clutch and shot the astropath. The dead Psyker is revealed to be possessed by the exalted sorcerer Imra while she was sending her message. Charon saw right through the chaos trickery due to his childhood encounter with the ward bearers, and he proved that he is truly the VIP. Also, Imra is like really funny. He constantly monologues at you as you fight him, either shit talking the teamwork or lack thereof, or trying to tempt Titus to join the other blue team. Imra eventually escapes, and Titus tells Gadriel that he understands the suspicion, but from here forth, he will take no more Leandros like behavior, and Gadriel complies, ashamed of his actions. Back at the battle barge, it's revealed that the Thousand Sons have diverted their forces to Miriam in order to attack Luz and the Aurora Project. And finally, the Marines acknowledge that Titus, who's basically never been wrong before, might actually be right about the Chaos artifact being dangerous. The Ultramarine forces prepare a total assault on Demirium to protect the power source and prevent a full-on Chaos incursion, but they fear they'll be crushed if they don't destroy a spire that is summoning Chaos reinforcements first. So far, all attempts to destroy the spire have failed, but Gadriel thinks outside of the box and comes up with a plan to use a fallen battle barge, the Sword of Atreus, to ram into the spire and destroy it. Now you're thinking like Titus, redemption arc perhaps? But anyways, Titus compliments Gadriel's plan and they prepare for battle. But before setting off, the chaplain of course scolds Titus and the boys once again. He accuses Titus of potential heresy, yells at Gadriel for trying to kill Titus, and tells the boys he'll be watching them. Ugh, this dude really needs to get off our case. Like, we're just nonstop kicking ass, and this dude's nonstop being an ass. Very lame. But you know what's not lame? This final part. It has legitimately some of the coolest moments I've ever experienced in 40k and even gaming as a whole. Akaran gives the third best speech in the game. You do Titus's favorite jumping off a high place and kicking ass maneuver. Gadriel says, the Codex Astartes does not support this action. But I'm looking forward to it. Redemption arc, let's go, baby! Gadriel and Titus finally make up. Gadriel apologizing for almost killing Titus, and Titus apologizing that Lamandros was such a little bitch that Titus got generational trauma and almost failed Gadriel. The boys are finally a team and ready to kick some ass, this time with thunder hammers. Hell yeah! And that's just the start. It's gonna get exponentially cooler from here. After fighting through the Chaos Forces in a cool jump pack section, you plant a homer, and the Sword of Atreus rams into the spire, tearing it asunder. Even crippled, the Thousand Sun forces pose a threat to the Aurora and seem to be trying to destroy it at all cost. So, Team Titus fight their way through what feels like 1,000 suns or something. Wait. At the site, they find some strange ancient glyphs. I wonder what they could be. But yeah, more fighting, yada yada. By the way, Scarab Terminators are super scary to fight, be it the Soul Reaper cannons, Kopesh dudes, or those damn annoying missile guys who are almost impossible to dodge. Then, for the last leg of the trip to Luz, you take a 30-minute elevator ride to the Aurora site. 30 minutes! And keep in mind, you don't fight anything on this elevator ride. You just stand there with your boys for 30 minutes. Like, imagine how deep the site must be, and I wonder if they talked or anything, or if they just stood in silence preparing for a battle. Lieutenant. Oh, about what happened at the relay. I just wanted to say, save it, Gadriel. We already made up in the Thunderhawk scene. I know, but I did almost kill you after all, so I feel really bad. I said save it. Ultra water under the Ultra bridge. Also, you did not almost kill me. I would have kicked your ass. Whoa. I don't know about that, buddy. I had a gun to your face. Did you forget that, Dementia Titus? I would have ate that round and kicked your ass. Don't delude yourself, Sergeant. Stop fighting! Guys, can we just be besties, please? Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. Besties for life, guys. So after that quick elevator ride, they get to the site and see that Titus was right yet again, and Demirium is actually a Necron tomb world. They rush to lose, and along the way, Imra taunts and gaslights the boys, but now the power of friendship keeps them from falling to such tricks. They finally arrive at Luz, and they see an army of Thousand Suns paralyzed by the power of the Aurora. They command Luz to stop, but he is unrelenting. Then Imra suddenly appears and tries to kill Luz, but his magic is of no use against the Aurora's force field, so he summons a Hell Brute. The Hell Brute is of course slain, and Luz finishes the vice and banishes Imra. Aurora actually worked. Let's go! Then Luz went across the galaxy, snuffing out chaos with the Aurora, and everyone lived happily ever after. I'm just kidding. Imra appears again and tells Luz that it was he, Imra the sorcerer, who planted the idea of Aurora, and that Luz was just a pawn in Imra's game. In fact, Imra orchestrated all of this from the start. He planned ideas within Luz under the guise of inspiration. He had Nozick assassinated so that the Imperials would retrieve Luz and send him to finish Aurora. Then Imra faked his death so that the Marines might have thought that Aurora could have worked. Truly a disciple of Tzeentch. Imra inverts Aurora and makes it amplify warp energy instead of nullifying it, and then things get pretty nutty on Demirius as a humongo warp rift opens up. You rendezvous with Acheran and prepare a final push on the Aurora pillar in hopes of destroying the power source and foiling Imra's plan. Then, the coolest moment in all of gaming maybe ever happens as you raise a company standard and fend off the unrelenting tides of Tzeentch minions with your Ultra Bros. You literally get to live out the classic Marines in a pile Codex art pose, shooting anything that you see, and it is the greatest thing ever. My little nerd brain went into overdrive, and I truly felt like the Warhammer 40,000. Then, to top it off, Calgar makes a booming entrance and saves the boys with the first company. And holy shit, Calgar is literally so cool, casually jumping from a Thunderhawk to double fist heretics. Then, Gadriel truly completes his redemption arc and ascends to Chadriel by using unorthodox thinking to realize that if they set the obelisk from W for Warp to M for Multramarines, they can weaken the Chaos Taint and save the day. Titus praises Gadriel's newfound badassery, and they move out. So, for the final time, the Ultramarines prepare a final push, this time headed by Calgar, and he gives the second coolest speech in the game. You charge the bridge with all your Ultra Besties by your side, and it's cool as hell. A Giganto Lord of Change spawns, and you and your boys begin flipping the obelisk to flip the bird to the bird. On the way to the last obelisk, you meet perhaps the coolest character in the game, the Dreadnought. Is Magnus here? No. Damn it! Holy shit. Team Titus meets up with Calgar and goes into the Immaterium to defeat Imra once and for all. The Titus trio face Imra and his Lord of Change. I should also mention that Chiron drops the best line of the game. He tells Imra, and I quote, "Our chapter serfs will use your skull as a piss pot. Ultra based." After Ultra kicking Imra's ass, you reunite with Calgar, and Titus destroys the power source yet again. Maybe this time I'll actually say destroyed. Calgar congratulates Titus, and they all have an Ultra celebration. Also, I played What I've Done right after Imra died on stream, and the What I've Done part lined up perfectly with Chiron helping Titus up. It was the coolest thing ever. And so, back on the battle barge, Calgar awards Titus with a cool new hat, says Titus has truly proven himself yet again, and apologizes for not finding him sooner since Titus is just such a cool dude. Titus is also told that he has a new mission assignment from the chaplain. But before that, Titus says goodbye to his new Ultra Besties and tells him that you have restored my faith in brotherhood, proving that the real Space Marine 2 were the two Space Marines that became our friends along the way. Literally peak. But unfortunately, they'll have to bro up another time as Titus sets off with Calgar and the chaplain. And before boarding, the chaplain says that Titus may have proven himself to the chapter master and literally everyone else, but he will always be suspicious in his eyes. Ugh, this chaplain is really annoying and lame. The Craplin is starting to act like a new Lamandros. Wait, he's taking off his helmet. No, it's Lamandros. Ah! I don't care if he has drip now, he still sucks. But that's the story of Space Marine 2. And honestly, I know a lot of people thought that the story was underwhelming, but I thought it was actually a really good story for what it was. I liked Gadriel's arc, as well as Team Titus as a whole. It had amazing moments, and I thought at first I wouldn't like how it kind of copied the first game. However, after playing it twice, I actually really like how it recontextualizes the first game's conflict with Leandros and the Codex stuff by having Titus show humility this time around, moving through his trauma and learning from his past mistakes to teach Gadriel to be a true Ultramarine in a way that he couldn't with Leandros in the past. And at the very least, the story was an effective vessel to take us from literally the coolest moment ever to the next, literally the coolest moment ever. Like, I didn't watch John Wick for a deep look into the human psyche or anything. I watched it to see some of the coolest action scenes around. Likewise, I played Space Marine 2 to experience kick ass 40k moments, and that I got. The executions, the endless Tyranid swarms, the guardsmen mobilizing on Avarax, the Dread, Calgar, the Lord of Change, the frickin' banner scene. These were all magical to play through and made for a genuinely awesome experience. But let me know what you thought of the game and what did you think of the story? I'd love to hear. And don't forget to check out my link in the description to play Raid Shadow Legends. Thank you for watching, and thank you to all my patrons for supporting the channel and helping me make more videos. As always, please like, comment, subscribe, and consider sharing to all your Chair Irons and Gadriel counterparts. Thanks. Also, short and simple doesn't mean bad. Not everything needs to be a 500-hour long campaign with a million different endings and a complex morality system. Sometimes a game could just be cool.